This is the show where I do my very best to sound like a knowledgeable jet setter, when in reality I'm just another naive teenager. Welcome to Life in Germany. Hello my friends, this is no ordinary episode of Life in Germany. This is Fasching 101. My tripod is crooked.
There you go.
Yes, Fasching 101, or as the Americans here call it, Fasching. Or Carnival, that's also used. And because this is Fasching 101, we got to go back to the absolute basics for anyone who, for some reason, doesn't know anything about it. So we're going to consult Wikipedia, and Wikipedia says Carnival is a festive season which occurs immediately before the Christian liturgical season of Lent. The main events typically occur during February. Carnival typically involves a public celebration or parade combining some elements of a circus, mask, and public street party. People often dressed up in masks during the celebrations, which is an overturning of the normal things of everyday life. The celebrations have long been associated with excessive consumption of alcohol. So there you go, end of video, Sam out. I'm just kidding. Alright, so where do we start? Fasching dates back to like the 1200s, okay? And despite the fact that other nations party on even greater scales than Germany, Germany is one of the best known nations in the world when it comes to Carnival. Just FYI, I'm probably gonna use Fasching and Carnival interchangeably through this little video. Yeah, some people say Germany has 5 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter, and Carnival. And they would also argue that Carnival is the best of the seasons. Now, all around the world, Carnival starts on November 11th at 11 after 11 a.m. and it ends the day before Lent. And despite Carnival starting way back in November, the majority of the major events don't happen until the week leading up to Lent. And there are some Fasching Carnival events that are pretty much universal, but you can only generalize up to a certain point because various villages, various cities might have their own oddities of celebrations throughout the season. There are really 4 major events worth noting. The first one, the one that really kicks off the partying, is Women's Day, Frauentag. It's called that because it's all about the ladies. And on that day, they can pretty much do whatever the heck they want. Now, what I don't understand is that of all the things they could do, somehow cutting off men's ties became a tradition. I believe Frauentag commemorates some kind of strike or revolt that a group of women went on back in the 1820s. So how that turned into cutting off men's ties and kissing random strangers on the street, I don't know. Don't ask me. Do I look like a woman? Don't answer that. Next up, we have Rose Monday, Rosenmontag. And it's really the biggest and most well-known of all the events. It's when Cologne, Germany has its huge parade. Speaking of which, pretty much, I think Cologne is probably it is the epitome of carnival celebrations in Europe, maybe. I'm sure someone's gonna argue with me about that in the comments. The parades can seem to go on forever, but everybody's wearing these cool masks and costumes, so it's entertaining and very interesting. I lied, there aren't 4, there are 3 that I wanna talk about. And the last one is Fat Tuesday, that we call that in English. There's really no word for it in German because it's not widely celebrated. And that is that final Tuesday before Lent. We also might call it Shrove Tuesday in English. I think in Swabia they actually say Fat Thursday for Frauentag, but I'm not sure about that. I believe Fat Tuesday is more heavily celebrated in the more Protestant areas of Germany, not the Catholic ones. I'm not sure about that either. Don't quote me on it, but it's certainly not celebrated everywhere. I know it is in Stuttgart though, because I was there. Yeah, I didn't have much time, but I went down there to take some pictures and stuff, and it was quite an experience. Not only the people in the parade wear costumes and go crazy, I mean, everybody goes crazy, but not only the people in the parade wear costumes, also just anybody there watching. There are some pretty incredible costumes in the crowd as well. These parades are also great attractions for kids because a lot of the floats are just spewing candy everywhere. Like, I think they're advertising for something, maybe, I'm not sure. I think they've got banners on the sides, promoting whatever, but I can't see it through the hailstorm of candy. Speaking of pictures though, and I'm sorry, it's my turn to advertise. Does advertising for myself count though? Yeah, follow me on Instagram. Do it. I've had my account on there for a long time now, but I only just started using it because I finally got a half-decent phone with a half-decent camera. So yeah, now I'm using it. And I'm really liking Instagram. It's fun. I do update my Facebook and my Twitter pages, but I think in the future, if you really want to follow my life, Instagram will probably be the platform to do it, as opposed to Facebook and Twitter anyway. So yeah, go follow me right now. I am at The Real Sam Walton. Yeah, 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 yeah.
May I have your attention, please? Will the real Sam Walton please stand?
I'm so done. Okay, just a few more words of advice. Be careful at the parades. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, but you're with a lot of people, just watch yourself. And don't go if you're an uptight person. One monster ran up to me and scribbled on my face with this big green marker. Another one took a handful of droppings from a hole punch, you know those nasty things that they're just nasty if you get them all over the house? Yeah, he took one of those and showered me with them like some kind of baptism of stupid. But you gotta do what you gotta do to get the shot, right? And also don't forget that for every huge parade there are a handful of smaller ones in the surrounding cities, which you might rather go to. The parade here in Stuttgart is not that big comparatively, but it's still pretty hard to find a spot where you can see well. So if I could go back and do it again, if I had more time, I would probably go to one of the smaller ones, personally. The masks are just as cool, don't worry. And one more note from Wikipedia, aka the lazy student saver. The Fasching parades and floats are very clever. To understand the themes, one must be aware of what is going on in the country or in the world, as the floats make fun of politicians and or any and all public figures. No one is spared. There are also many speeches taking aim at public figures, especially local politicians, other public figures who screwed up, as well as EU politicians, Putin, and others. And there you have it. That's all for this video. And of course, after all that comes Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent. I personally, those moments during the day when you're not consuming bacon? Yeah, I'm giving those up for Lent. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I will see you guys next time. Sam out.